Welcome, welcome, welcome. July 20th, 2025. I'm Tom Crawford along with Coach Kerry Keyton. It's Coach Keyton and Crawford here on the Crawford Podcasting Network. Our regular podcast, we do 52 weeks a year, or at least 50. And football season's getting closer, but we cover all things all season long. Appreciate being on. I also would appreciate you going out to our YouTube channel, Tom's Take Community. All one word, no apostrophe. Same thing on the Facebook, for the Facebook community channel, Tom's Take Community. Also on TikTok at Blue Belly Tom, all one word. And get all of our content. Gary, it's always a pleasure to have you on with me every Sunday. We make a hell of a team, I'll say myself.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Good morning. Glad to be here as always, bright and early on Sunday morning.
You know, July 20th, that's a significant day. July 20th, 1969, I was almost 13. You were almost like 1 or 2. How old were you?
69 I would have been half a. I born in 68, so
Oh, 1 and a
November.
half.
I would have been half. It's 69.
Yeah.
I'd have been a half a year. I born November, December, January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, 9 months.
You were 9 months. You weighed about 38 pounds by then. Well, how much did you weigh by then?
I know, right? Came out at like 10. You know, Mom Keita had nothing but big babies.
How much did you weigh when you were born?
I was over 10.
I had a big head, so I was not almost 10.
Yeah, I was over 10.
Were you? Wow.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. But July 20th is significant in 1969. Neil Armstrong walked on the moon on that Saturday night. I'll remember it vividly. A lot of build up to that.
Sure.
And it was a hot, up at our house on Mayfair Drive. It was a hot summer night, you know, but we're all sitting around the TV watching this milestone happening right at that time. So, I mean, it's weird how I remember things, but that's how I remember July 20th.
Right.
July 20th also is meaningful because 3 weeks from tomorrow, high school football on August 11th opens practice. That's a big day, right, Gary?
The 2-a-days, 3-a-days, 1-a-days. Some people go at 12 o'clock, midnight that night to get it in. And, you know, it's nothing like the first week of high school football. You know, the wet grass, just the Coach Rocco always said, everybody undefeated.
Yeah,
everybody undefeated. Everybody got a chance.
They're wearing their pajamas those first 3 days, and then they put on the pads. You find out what you got, don't have, right? You know.
Yeah, you put the all those 707 superstars. They disappear on Thursday. What's the pads come on? I know that's where the real men show up.
I like to take a little around the horn, not to steal this from ESPN. Hit a couple of different topics for here. There's a lot going on. You know, this past week, this is when they always have the ESPYs, and it's right after the All-Star game. It's like sports shuts down for a couple of days. I mean, there's nothing going. The All-Star break is a little bit longer than it used to be. And I do like the format. You know, speaking of Major League Baseball, it's not my favorite sport. It's my third favorite sport. It's football, basketball, baseball. But as far as all-star games, they do it right. They're the only one that I will actually watch.
Well, it's an actual game.
Yeah, and they have this swing-off thing. You know, it was tied game. You know, and actually won. I thought that was interesting.
Yeah, that was cool. I was happening to be listening to the radio, sports talk radio, and somebody was crying, complaining about, you know, that they had the home run thing at the end. And I tuned in to watch a game. Like, you just watched 9 damn innings.
Yeah.
You just watch the game. Now we're gonna go do this and go home because nobody wants to sit around all the rest of the night and watch and continue to watch. You just watch the game for 90 and a very good game. Where the
Yeah.
American League came back and tied it up, and
Yeah,
I mean that was a good game.
Tigers
And
had 6
then
players represented in it.
yeah,
Schoolboy didn't. Well, I mean, the whole Tiger thing is a discussion in itself, but their 6-game skid right now. But no, I thought it was entertaining. And
yeah,
they do it right. That they do it. It's over the halfway point. I mean, it's not like it's halftime in baseball, but they're more than half through. But I thought it was well done. I watched it, and also I watched. This is a big week. I think it's 4 days. SEC Media Days. Hearing all that malarkey from those coaches. I get time. I only watch that. And tonight on Press Pass All Stars with Jack Ebling, my panelist partner is Mike Griffith, who covers the SEC. He's Paul Feinbaum's radio partner on their show.
Oh, really?
So I'm going to get a lot of SEC rhetoric, how great it is. I will say this, though, when you start doing research and really delve into the difference between the Big Ten and the SEC, academically, it's a total mismatch. There are 2 schools, well, I take it back, 3 schools that are in the same ballpark academically as the Big Ten, and all the other ones are shit. It's
Vanderbilt and who else?
good job. Oh, you're very good. You're so sharp here on a Sunday morning. Florida is a really good academic school. The University of Georgia.
Okay.
After that, they suck.
It's all suspect.
They don't care about that, right?
No.
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 Now,
No.
and then comes this week where I typically would be excited about heading down to Indianapolis. And with my health challenges lately, I probably would have passed this year. I've got multiple years double-digit years in a row. I've gone to Big Ten Media Days, but they put it out in Vegas for this week. Yeah, what a great place to go in the summertime, Las Vegas, where when you walk out at night after dinner, the steam's coming off the road and your legs are on fire.
Frying eggs on the asphalt at 6 o'clock in the morning.
But this is all part of appeasing the new 4 entries. And
sure. Are they having it at the Sphere? Do you know where they're having it?
I'm not sure where they're having it. Is it Mandalay Bay? I'm not sure. It might be Mandalay Bay. I don't know. Regardless, I'm not going, and I'm willing to bet, Kerry, of that press corps, there'll probably be only a third of it. But normally, and maybe that will jolt them to go back to either Chicago or Indy where it should be. Because the West Coast media doesn't give a shit about college sports, in my opinion.
There's so much going on out there.
I don't know. It's just they don't have, my God, Ohio State, they'll bring 15 to 20 media people with all their platform. I take that back, probably 20, 25. I mean,
really?
They cover Ohio State. I mean, it's like crazy. Maybe
that's
more than
a lot of people.
No, well, I'm going. It's probably like 30. They all irritate the hell out of me.
To do what?
Cover Ohio State. No, actually cover Michigan. Because when it was Harbaugh before, we have these little breakout scrums, right? And these little boosts. You've seen it at the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
So when Harbaugh would come on, there would be, say he'd come on at 2:00. By 1:20, there'd be other coaches talking, PJ Flag right now, you get a handful. They're all around Harbaugh 40 minutes ahead of time.
Waiting.
And Sharon Moore has a little bit of that too. Okay. Not to that level, but in the first row our Ohio State media asking antagonistic questions to Harbaugh, and in essence to Sharon Moore. That's what they do.
It's all about the likes and the clicks.
And the hatred and the venom and all that stuff.
Yeah, I have time for that.
That will be an interesting take, and we'll talk about that next week and all the Cleveland.com prognostication of who's going to be finished top in the Big Ten. I guarantee you Michigan won't be higher than fourth, and that's fine. It will be probably Penn State, Ohio State, and Oregon, 1, 2, and 3, or Ohio State, Penn State, and Oregon, 1, 2, and 3.
And then somewhere.
Yeah.
But like you always say, it don't matter where you start, where you finish.
It's where you finish. But it gets you excited because, let's see, 6 weeks from now, Michigan will be 1-0, I'm thinking, after beating New Mexico last night. And Michigan State will be 1-0 after beating Western Michigan, right?
The Broncos.
Prior.
Hopefully.
Yeah. I got one more question about college football in that regard. 7 weeks from right now, Michigan will be flying back or have flown back during the night from Oklahoma back to Ann Arbor after playing the Sooners on a Saturday night. Will they be 2-0 or 1-1, Kerry Keyton?
Oh, it's hard to say. Oklahoma got a lot of
hard answer.
Oklahoma got a lot of. Hey, we'll put it this way: he has to win this year. He's going to get fired. So
Brent Venables, the guy from Clemson, who is like the star guy.
He has to win this year. He's going to get fired. So they're doing everything they can in all season to get players. They lost quite a few, including our own Andrew Anthony, who transferred to Duke. So
if Andrew Anthony, speaking of that, we're doing that around the horn. If he was at Michigan, if he stayed at Michigan, he'd be in his second year as a starter at Michigan.
Yeah, possibly.
Possibly. Definitely. That's what I get frustrated by. These guys that just go look, grass is always greener on the other side, right? Instead of standing and competing, right?
Yeah, his situation a little different, but you got to remember at that time they're throwing the ball like 8 times a game. We'll get no targets. Wide receiver's only going to be as good as he can be if he can get some targets and get some balls.
He got some targets that he dropped.
Yeah, he got some targets against Michigan State and blew the hell up.
Well,
and then give him more.
Yeah, the Michigan State game in 2021, he was terrific.
Absolutely amazing.
But he dropped one, the Illinois game.
They all drop. They all drop balls.
Well, I understand that. But I understand.
Jerry Rice drop balls.
I'm just saying this. All I'm saying is I wish he had stayed at Michigan.
I wish he had stayed too, just for no other reason than just to get the degree.
Get to the degree, and then you're just jumping around. I mean, where's your identity? Where's your brand identity?
Of course, I wish he went to Michigan State in the first place. He'd probably be in the league by now. You never know. But that's so ifs and buts were ifs and nuts were candy and butts. You know how that works. But God bless him. He has his degree from Oklahoma, and he's going to be at Duke to play one more year. So hopefully he can do well and give him a chance to play in the NFL, maybe.
Yeah. So, and Sharon Moore playing his alma mater. We'll see how that goes. So
that's that Oklahoma. I'll probably say I'll go with the freshman quarterback on the road. I'll go with Oklahoma with that one.
Oklahoma's a 2.5-point favorite out of Vegas so far in the early going.
Boomer Sooner.
Alabama, not a vintage Alabama team, but still a good team. Goes out to Norman, Oklahoma last year, and they get beat 20-3 on a Saturday night.
Is that Michigan game at night?
Yeah.
Yes. See, look, I don't care what anybody says. Night games are the absolute best in college football. There's
Why?
nothing because it brings the high school element back into it, and it makes it more fun for the kids, in my opinion.
Well,
Playing under the lights. There's nothing better than playing under the lights.
well, and you probably can carve off 10, 12 degrees from that heat.
Oh
Then it's
yeah,
heat
and
normal.
then
Then
your fans
yeah,
have all day to to get
juice.
get the juices and get them adult beverages in them so they can really act crazy, and it's just loud and it's there's I that Labor Day weekend at Spartan Stadium. I love going to that game
Yeah.
because you could just feel. Besides the fact it's the first game, everybody, again, everybody's undefeated, the positivity, all that kind. It's just the environment under the lights. There's nothing like playing under the lights.
The last last time I was at Spartan Stadium, and I don't go there a lot, was it would have been 3 years ago. Wouldn't it have been or 2023? 2 years. When Cody was coaching at Central, Friday night was Central Michigan, Michigan State. And it was
Oh,
hot as hell during the day, but at night it was like perfect. I mean,
yeah,
temperature wise, you get at
yeah.
night. I mean, it's like you're so comfortable. That's what September game. Those first games on a Friday night are awesome as a fan.
You can't. Especially, you can't beat it. You just can't. That
Right.
sun goes down behind the stadium. Yeah, everybody's in the shade, but it's
Yeah.
still 75 with a breeze.
Yeah.
Cannot beat that environment. You just can't.
Yeah. Okay. I sent you a link earlier this week, and we can touch on what you were talking about at the top of the segment about high school football communities and programs of long-lasting success. And you got that link, right, of all the top 20 programs?
I did.
And number one, I mean, if anybody follows high school football even remotely, I mean, just, out in left field, I think they would have guessed correctly of Herb Brogan's Jackson Lumen Christie team as the winningest team in the state of Michigan.
It's kind of hard not. Like you said, if you're not, you've been under a rock.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got that document out in front of me. So Lumen Christie is number one. I don't, some of these, I don't know if there's a required number.
Yeah, you got to have it. Some of them ain't got enough games played. That don't count.
Yeah, but I'm going to focus on the games of longevity. Team programs of longevity.
Yeah, like 600 plus.
First of all, in Greater Lansing, there's one program, the highest ranked program, the East Lansing Trojans, number 18.
18.
656 games they've played. That's a lot. They've won.
Congrats to Coach
469 and 176.
Congrats to Coach Smith for winning the vast majority of those.
Coach Smith, and then Bill Farraco's done a great job following
Absolutely.
that as well. But that, Smith, you're 72 on, good Lord, for 40 years.
It was a monster. Although I must say, Coach Keyton never lost to East Lansing.
That's when Eastern was in its glory. I'm funny, out of these, how many programs do I have listed here? There's a lot, okay? I don't see the Eastern Quakers.
No.
Don't see them. They've won one game in 4 years, so that's not. But I've noticed a pattern, and you talked about it earlier. Besides the East Lansing Trojans, and I think DeWitt is down here at number 30 or something like that.
Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah. Okay. We have the Fowler Eagles at number 7, and PW down here. They're not too far behind. PW, man, my reading glasses are not working today. They're like 26. No, 28. And DeWitt's 30. Okay. Fowler, P-Dub.
Fowler and PW.
What is your theory why they win so much? Just give it.
And we talked about it earlier. And like I said, I'm going to do one of my first projects as part of the Crawford Podcasting Network.
Yes.
I'm gonna get out there to Clinton County, and we're gonna find out. Now, I 2 years ago, I took some young ladies from Dansville Middle School. I took them out to PW for middle school basketball.
Okay.
Driving my bus. Yeah, driving the bus.
Yeah.
And I never been out to high school before, PW before. So I just wanted to walk through there. And I got family in PW, you know, my Schaefers, my family, my people.
You do, yeah.
I do. And I'm walking through the school, and I want to go see the gym, and I hear this music playing. And our coach, it's probably 5 o'clock, 4:30, 5 o'clock, somewhere around there. And I'm walking, and I'm looking. You see people, how you doing? And I walk around the corner, and I'm following the music. Where the music coming from?
Mm-hmm.
And I walk around the corner, and it's coming from the weight room.
Yeah.
And when I tell you, there was probably 30 to 40 kids.
Yeah.
Boys, girls, different whatevers.
Yeah.
And just in there getting after it.
Okay, I got a question I want to ask right now about that weight room with those 30 people in there. This is an important question. Was anybody sitting down?
No, they were sitting down. They were sitting down doing the exercise.
Yeah, you go into some of these weight rooms. You got guys sitting down like it's coffee hour or something like that.
Oh yeah.
Too much time. They're not intense. They're not getting it done.
Nah,
the only way you're going to be productive.
The thing about it though, Tom, I think there was a couple of adults in there, but them kids didn't need nobody to them kids were self-motivated. They were in there getting after it with each other. And I just stood there in the door and just watched them and was like, yeah, I can see why you guys win. It's not hard.
Okay.
And just walked away, just like, yep, that makes sense. That's why they win.
I'm gonna go back to a conversation. God, I don't remember the year. Several years with Jeremy Miller, the head coach. He's a great guy. Great guy. And they had lost the state championship game, I think. I don't know what year that was. So everybody be downtrodden and stuff like that. That Monday, you couldn't walk in the weight room. They're all getting after it. I'm sure Fowler has the same secret.
Absolutely.
Is this?
It's something in that Clinton County, baby.
Well, it's work ethic in that community. And a lot of it is a farm-based work ethic. They got to do their chores. And that's going old school. My dad's high school, Frankfurt High School, is in the top 20 or even higher. He played football for the Panthers back in 1930 or whatever. They had to do their farm chores. They got more and do that. And then practice had to run up a bluff at Lake Michigan, which is like running up a wall. It's work ethic in a farm rural community that is not, it's just clearly expected. It's in the culture. It's in their DNA.
That's right there. That's it right there. The expectation that has been set from the last 15, 20 years, 25 years, those kids that are coming, they've all watched their brothers, their sisters, their cousins, their friends win. And the expectation is to win. And this is what it takes to win. And so you have to put the work in.
Right. Okay.
And so they've watched it. And so there's no going back and forth or if I should. It's no, when is it going to be open so I can be there to get it done?
Okay. Now I got a question. We all know how Fowler and before even doing, and you'll do more research on this, Fowler and PW in schools like this. But my question is, how do you take that formula of success and incorporate it into the urban setting, as in Lansing, Everett, Lansing Eastern, Lansing, especially Lansing Eastern, and Lansing Sexton? How do you do that? How do you get that work ethic? Because, well, maybe it's that Sexton's had some success. Eastern has participation problems. They've won one game in 4 years, as we've talked about. How do you take that work ethic and bring it into that community where they can have more success?
Everything. If it the problem is with losing programs is, like you said, is getting people to come and buy in to try. Just give us a try. You just have to be it. But it starts at the top. You have to have a coach that's invested in the kids, that's willing to, like we did at Everett. Like when I was at Eastern, I was like, look, this is what it's going to be here. I need you to be here. I'm going to invest in you. I need you to invest back in me. Now, did we win enough? A lot of no, we didn't win. But I go back and look at a vast majority of the kids that I coached at Eastern. They are all extremely successful young men right now. They are doing absolutely great things.
So what happened? What happened? Why did it go away?
I mean, I can't explain why it happened at Eastern, because I wasn't there, but like at Everett, I mean, Jaleel, he's turned it back around. He's turned it around because he watched how we worked him and his teammates to 9-0 season, last only undefeated season since 50s. But like when I went to Everett in 04, 03, 04, 05, like, no, you're going to be in the weight room every day. You're going, because that's where it starts in football. You have to be strong. Yeah. You have to be strong. If you're not strong, you're not going to beat anybody.
Right.
And you have to get the buy-in. And once, a kid, once he starts doing stuff at weight room and starts feeling, they'll come. They'll start feeling good about themselves, and they'll come, and then the wins come. And then the culture changes, and then more people will come.
Moves on.
And then but it's not easy. It's a lot of hard work. It's a lot of, like you said, beating the hallways, getting kids to, but there's so much more. I mean, you're talking about 05, 04, 05, where it's 2025, 26. Kids have so many more options and things they will do other than work hard. It's hard to get them, especially if it's a losing program, unfortunately.
Yeah, okay.
Because kids, they just won't do it. They won't put themselves out there.
You talked about the weight room, Kerry.
Huge.
And I'll never forget this comment 2 years ago when y'all lost to Muskegon. And you were just like that it was in the trenches, basically. Offensive line, defensive line. And you were throwing your hands up. I mean, we can't compete unless we get back in the weight room and get it to this level. I mean, it stops there. Is what you told me.
They were big kids regardless. And I'm not saying that they were the best line we faced, but I mean, those kids were huge, but them kids were big and they were strong. And when you get, like, you can get to a certain level. Even last year at against Byron Center, we whooped a year before, we whooped Byron Center. Now they added a few pieces, but we lost some pieces. And we had too many. We had our front kids were going both ways. So at the end of the day,
that was a depth issue last year, and I saw that coming.
But those kids were still bigger and stronger, than our kids were.
Right.
So at the end of the day, I mean, you're gonna win. Like, okay, here's a prime example. The skill set that Byron Center brought to the table was, I wouldn't even say it was better than Dexter.
Oh, Dexter. Yeah.
Because Dexter had kids playing offensive line that looked like me when I was in college.
Yeah.
They were absolutely huge.
Yeah, they got big time athletes down there.
We did stuff, and they allowed us to stay in the game. And our coaching and our way of play, not anything that they seen before. So they allowed us to stay in the game, and then eventually we beat them at the end because we're just better coached. But those kids, like they did what they wanted to because they were just that bigger and stronger. You know, you can manipulate the system enough as you're going through the process, but at some point in time, if those guys, they say it's the X's and the O's, but it's the Jimmys and the Joes, right? If those guys are bigger and faster and stronger than you, there's only so much coaching you can do.
Well, I understand, but that's controlling the controllables, and that's putting the effort in the off season that we're talking about right now.
Absolutely.
Right now. And you're running out of time, guys. If you haven't got these athletes right now, if you haven't got it going on by now, it's too late.
Oh, no, it's too late. It's too late. Yeah. It's too because once practices start, like you're not getting in the weight room every day. You're gonna go
torn down.
Oh yeah, you got to go 2-3 times a week. Maybe you'll be able to get in the weight room, depending, And now it's just changing into a maintain. You're not necessarily building anymore. You're trying to maintain what you gained. Yeah. And if you haven't been there and put the work in through the summer, what are you maintaining? You're maintaining garbage. So what difference does it make? So if you haven't put the time in, that's why we always see kids, boo-hooing or something. What are you crying for? If you ain't put no time in, I mean, there's a handful of kids that, you always got those kids that like, golly, I wish I could take his work ethic and put it into this kid and not have all world, we go through that all the time.
Life doesn't, we're alpha dogs. Yeah, I understand. Life doesn't work that way.
All
those components together and have this miracle player. I understand that, but life doesn't go that way.
No, the one that comes to my mind, like really like that in all my years of coaching, that really, really did that is Josh Thornhill. He was a great football player, and he worked tirelessly to be even better. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? And Caleb wasn't too far behind, but Josh, like you already great. You're 6'4", 230 running blah. But he never missed a weight room session. He never missed anything.
No, that's not how and now he's position. He's in the medical field. He's been successful.
Yeah, doing phenomenal.
That's all family upbringing and accountability and DNA.
100% correct.
Yep. All right, he's Gary Keyton. I'm Tom Crawford. Man, dog days of summer. No dog days of summer. Us content-wise, you look up and we've already gone 33 minutes, my friend. And we touched on half the topics. We thought
it's a beautiful thing.
Yep. But anyway, let's go at it again next week. Again, Tom's Take Community.
Yes, sir.
On YouTube and Facebook. Go out and like us and follow, subscribe to us for free. Appreciate that. And we'll be back next week. Talk about what happened Big Ten Media Days. And we'll be down to 2 weeks before high school football. And then Carrie will only be like 4 days from the Lions opener in the Hall of Fame game.
Hall of Fame game.
Yeah. In Canton, which you'll see no starters, but hey, football's football. And,
right.
Going against Jim Harbaugh's LA
Chargers.
Yeah. The Chargers. Yeah. So anyway, Kerry, great job.
Yes, sir.
Day. And we'll talk to you next week. And as Kerry Keyton always ends it.
Always. Go green.
And I'll say go blue.